Feels like the world is caving in. Couldn't even guess where to begin. But I think we gotta look again to find a hope we can extend. It's getting a little darker every day. No, you don't have to act like you're okay. But now I think we gotta find a way to mend, to put things right again. Let there be light. Let there be light. All through the darkness of the night, let there be light. Let there be light. Let there be light. Let it shine bright until tomorrow. Let there be light. I've seen a lot of brokenness and pain. I've seen a lot of people crushed with shame. Oh, I know that there's a greater name than fear, than hatred and rage and revenge. This world of ours is tearing at the seams. We got ourselves a mess of shattered dreams. I guess we'll have to push ourselves to extremes to show the love I know will win. Let there be light. Let there be light. All through the darkness of the night, let there be light. See the light shining. I wanna see the light, wanna see the light shining. I wanna see the light, wanna see the light shining. Wanna see the light, wanna see the light shining. Wanna see the light, wanna see the light shining. Wanna see the light. Wanna see the light, 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 wanna see the light shining. Let there be light, let there be light.
Good evening, everyone. I am Donna Gifford, AHRC New York City Special Event Coordinator, and would like to welcome you to our 71st annual meeting via Zoom. Before we begin our meeting, I would like to remind you that this is a webinar, so you will not be able to see other attendees, but you will be able to see the panelists and their presentations. There are more helpful Zoom tips in the chat section. If you have any questions or comments, you may leave them in the Q&A section, and we will address them at a later time. Now, I would like to invite Sharon Van Riepingham, President of the AHRC New York City Board of Directors, to deliver her report. Sharon?
Thanks, Donna. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, our Honorable Assembly Member Carinas Reyes, our extraordinary membership. Good evening to our distinguished Board of Directors, our phenomenal staff, and invited guests. Welcome again to our first virtual annual meeting, not something we had ever predicted doing a year ago. Let me start by saying that this last year was, needless to say, fraught with unimaginable challenges. It was without a doubt one of the most difficult years I have ever experienced. Let me say first, we, the people we support, their families and staff, have all been living through the ravages of the COVID pandemic. Our community has been really hit hard by the illness. It affected our lives in so many ways. It is actually hard to believe or imagine that we will ever be able to go back to living how we lived before COVID. But on a very bright note, I need to say, and I need to acknowledge the courageous frontline AHRC staff who work tirelessly and effectively to keep the people we serve safe and well cared for. You are truly our heroes, and we have a huge applaud for you. You did it, and it's got to be known to everyone. Secondly, I want to say a few words about, yet once again, witnessing the brutal racial injustice in this country. It needs to be said. This was apparent not only in the violent incidents that were perpetrated against people of color, but also in the racial disparity endured during the pandemic, which was absolutely unbelievable. It's important for you all to know, from me, president of this board, that we as an organization continue to pledge our commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion, and we will keep this in the forefront of all that we do. We hope in the coming months, despite the threats of a second wave of COVID, that all of us can resume our lives to the extent possible. I also hope that we value the people and the small things in our lives even more as a result of these last 6 months. Although it is perhaps hard to envision just now, I think we all can look forward, and we should look forward to a brighter future. My sincere thanks to all of you for your efforts to support our efforts during these trying times. Stay safe and well. Thank you, my AHRC NYC family. Thank you so much.
Sharon, now please welcome AHRC New York City's Chief Executive Officer, Marco Damiani, who will deliver his report. Marco?
Thank you very much, Donna, and welcome to everyone, to our members, our staff, our board, and our stakeholders. This is an extraordinary time. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we aim to do and have done to navigate these times into waters that are a little more stable and can carry us to new places. I really want to first pull up a presentation that I'm going to show to you. Bear with me a moment. I believe I just did it on my own with a little help. So we are truly in the world of Zoom. So today I want to talk to you about a high-level vision for the organization that also realizes the opportunities before us. It may seem strange to talk about opportunities at a time like this, but ultimately they're grounded in innovation, communication, and how we align our work together for a better tomorrow. Sharon mentioned the COVID pandemic. And I have to share my thing again. Hang on. Sorry. Apologize for that. Okay, thank you for your patience. As you can tell, this is a coronavirus, and the coronavirus has had tremendous impact on our city, our nation, the world, and our organization. It's had human impact, workforce impact for us, family impact, programmatic impact, organizational impact, and systems impact around the world in which we have to operate our services and supports. They've created tremendous stressors, the coronavirus and the other challenges of the day, and they've produced an enormous workload on the people at AHRC New York City. They have really stepped up. I'm going to talk about that in a little more detail in a moment. It's also put us in a very risky space first and foremost with our health, the health of people we support, our staff, also financial risk. There are many challenges before us around how we're being funded or not being funded. The response has been extraordinary. We have heard over and over again about our staff being essential. I would like to stop calling them essential. I think when somebody's essential, they're going to do something no matter what. I think our staff are our most valuable asset. We need to treat them as such and begin to elevate them even more into the rightful place in our workforce and in society, in our city, to be sure that they continue to have professionalized jobs and are respected and have the ability to grow with us. But our response has also been beyond just human capital. We've invested time and energy in optimizing technology. Much of the work we're doing now is virtual. Tonight's example is a good one, other than my initial glitch with the PowerPoint presentation. So we are now doing a lot of telehealth. We are providing supports to people that were in our day programs that are now at home. We are using technology to communicate on an everyday basis with our staff in our meetings and with other stakeholders throughout the state and throughout the country. This has actually been an unexpected innovation moment that we are now pivoting on and using what we're learning to be able to continue technology solutions beyond the pandemic. It's also, as I said earlier, laid bare so many problems in our society and in the world where we support people with disabilities. We need to strengthen our advocacy. We're going to talk about that again in a few more minutes. And it's enabled us to evolve as a leader in the field, even beyond where we have been. We have done a lot of work, an amazing team working on analytics, on data, on looking at the patterns of illness and unfortunately people that we've lost, hospitalizations. And by looking at that systematically, by looking at it every single day, by having meetings and planning sessions, we can begin to look at where our resources need to move to keep people as safe as possible. And our model, our COVID analytics model, is now being used by other organizations. And the data that we originally created is now being used by Syracuse University, along with data around the entire state, to do academic research on this public health crisis for people with disabilities. So we have much to be proud of, despite the enormous challenges. Every organization has a corporate identity, and we are no different. We are working very hard on a strategic plan. And the strategic plan that we set into motion early in the year has now been stalled a bit. Now we're reinvigorating it and really looking into the crystal ball as best we can to ensure we have a number of things going on: service excellence and innovation, investing in our people, becoming a learning organization even more than we already are now, having positive fiscal and operational directions going forward, leading a social justice advocacy movement, driving strategic growth, and as I said earlier, being data informed as best as we can. We are in the 21st century. Many nonprofits suffer from having the technology they need to make good data informed decisions. We're working hard to be sure that we can also do that. So I mentioned corporate identity, and a number of things go into it. Communication, some of the design elements of how we look to the world, how we behave, how we talk to each other, how is our mission promoted, what is our vision like, how do we make decisions in our corporate culture. We have an outside firm now helping us with that. And I'm very pleased to say that in a few months' time, you're going to see a refreshed AHRC in New York City that's built on a powerful legacy created by Anne Greenberg over 70 years ago. We're very excited about this. And as I said, it's something I think you'll be happy to see and proud to see. We will continue to tell our story in a modern way to ensure that people who know about us are inspired by us continually. People who don't know about us get to know us and get to really appreciate the work we do and support us as well. So advocacy is really always something we've done. We have, in many ways, created the advocacy movement for people with IDD over the decades, whether it was Anne Greenberg or whether it was the Willowbrook consent judgment, which just 37 years ago, a few weeks ago, Willowbrook closed. We need to do this more than ever. The resources available to nonprofits are dwindling. The federal, state, and local governments are incredibly stressed by the coronavirus, and there have been some decisions made that are not great for us. The federal government is not moving enough money into New York State and to other states to ensure we have the resources we need to do great work. The city is struggling right now. We need your advocacy to be sure that the work that we do is not forgotten or put to the side. Many of you have been involved in recent events. There was a wonderful car rally just last week that went all the way up to Albany, really expressing the concerns that we have for our population, for the work that we do, and for our organizations. We need you to be involved in getting the word out. When you get a link from us or an activation request to talk to a legislator, please do it. It makes a difference. It really does. We need your support, and families and individuals we support are critical in telling the story that we need to tell to get the resources we need to do the work that we do. And then finally, and Sharon mentioned this, it's very distressing to be experiencing in this nation the problems we're seeing with racial equity after so many years and decades and centuries, frankly. And the recent events of the last number of months have escalated rightfully the discussion and the advocacy needed to be sure that we move forward. So I want to talk about a couple of things that we're doing to be sure that we stay focused on racial equity in our organization and beyond. The first thing is that we should never assume we're the best at what we do, no matter how good we are. So we've launched a series of listening sessions that will be coming up in the upcoming month or so with staff throughout the organization to hear what their experiences are within AHRC New York City and outside AHRC New York City. We need to listen, pay attention, and then determine collectively what are the next steps to give Black, brown, people of color in our organization an absolutely solid opportunity to grow with us. Secondly, our organization has always been outward looking as well. And many of our staff have been involved in events, demonstrations, and other advocacy efforts around the city and beyond. We are committed to supporting that. We will continue to support that. We have a committee on the board that we've renamed the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. And they've already had their first meeting. They're going to be very involved in working with us to have as much alignment as you possibly can with the board, with management, with our workforce around ensuring racial equity. And then finally, I'm really pleased to let you know that we brought on a national figure in cultural and linguistic competence, Professor Tawara Good from the National Center for Cultural Competence at Georgetown University, a woman of color extremely devoted to people with IDD and to racial equity. She's already spent some time with us helping us to craft a plan going forward. And we're very, very proud and fortunate to have her engagement and involvement as we move forward toward a more equitable AHRC New York City. So I thank you for your time tonight. I really appreciate all of your support. The months ahead will not be easy, but we've learned so much. And one thing I've learned more than anything is this is an amazing staff. that rise to the occasion. They flex when they need to. They support one another. They're creative. They exceed expectations, and they never stop. And you should be extremely proud and fortunate to know that we have staff like that in this organization. We are a national model for working together in a crisis, and I'm very proud to call all of them a colleague. So thank you again for being here this evening, and wish you the very best. So thank you again. And we're about to see a memorial montage that was put together to recognize and celebrate the lives of people we've lost, people with IDD and staff over the last number of months. So please enjoy watching this very moving video. Thank you. I hope you were moved by that video as much as I was. I'd like to also introduce the second video that celebrates our frontline staff. The roles that they served during the COVID-19 pandemic was truly extraordinary. And the video that you're about to see was produced with the pro bono assistance from Cosmo Street Videos. So please watch and enjoy the video.
I wanted to say hi to the DSPs. I want to thank you all, our frontline heroes during one of the craziest times in our history.
Thank you. I am in absolute awe of your talent, commitment, and hard work.
We truly are blessed to have you as a part of our community. And so thank you for everything that you've done and continue to do. You guys are the best.
We can't thank you enough for everything that you do each and every day. Congratulations on DSP Week.
I've been here for a year and a half, and I could literally say that they are part of my family because that's what I feel. And just to be able to help them and to be a voice for them, you know, so I know that I'm in the right place.
I've been in this field for almost like 30 odd years. I was in management for over 20 years also, but it's more rewarding for me to work directly with the people we serve.
The relationships that I develop with the people I support, the energy that's there, it's just very unique and it's addictive. We want to go back to work every day.
You are among the best and the bravest. Thank you so much. Continue to do what you do and know that you are amazing.
This was like a God gift from me. I always love to help people. The favorite part of the job is interacting with the people I serve and help them to achieve their goal. That makes me get up every day and look forward to go and support these people.
I am also trying to assist support with people, develop his creative abilities. When some people making something like creation, he can put his heart inside this team. People which one we support become very proud. They feel important person inside.
Know how grateful we all are for the tremendous heroic work you've done over this past year, particularly these past several months.
Words at a time like this really fall short. Your dedication, your hard work, care and love that you're giving to the men and women here at AHRC is just really has left a lot of us amazed.
Without DSPs, we have nothing, all right? AHRC does not exist. The DSP is really the backbone of the entire organization, so thank you.
My favorite part of the job, honestly, is knowing that I come into work and they greet me like, hey, Danisha, like you made such a good dinner today, letting me know that I did good, that I did something for them, and them saying thank you to me. That's one of the best things.
One thing that I learned is like I'm not necessarily helping these individuals. Of course, they need assistance, but it's more so teaching them how to be independent. I've learned a lot about looking after and just being there for someone else. It took this job for me to understand that it's not always about me.
All I can say to you is that I pray that all continues to go well for all of you, your families, and again, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you have done for our people.
AHRC New York City staff that provide direct services and supports are our greatest asset. And during the pandemic, your greatness is magnified. For that, I salute your generous spirit, your commitment to our organization, to people with disabilities, and to social justice. Thank you so much, and stay well.
I would like to welcome Joseph Mercedes, who was in the video you just watched. Joseph is a community support professional at Howie Stone Center, currently working at Greenberg Residence, to say a few words. Welcome, Joseph.
Thank you, Donna. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us at this annual meeting. I'm just going to share a few words here about my experience at AHRC NYC. It was a very quick transition from working at a day hab facility to the residence. However, it was very new for me. And even though I knew one individual from Styler Day Hab, located in the Bronx, right next to Howie Stone Adult Day Center, I was able to build an interpersonal connection with him and all of the other individuals at the Greenberg residence, also located in the Bronx. And being that this was their home, there was more comfortability for them in showing who they are. I saw all sides of each individual, from their behaviors in certain situations, their habits, etc. And I had to learn how to deal with each and every one of them. But overall, I was able to learn and see much more than what I read in their protective oversight plans and life plans, and saw who these individuals are as people. I learned that when working in this field with this population, you have to put someone else above yourself, and that it is not always about you, as I mentioned in the video. You're looking out for someone else's well-being and encouraging someone else in their independence. And for as long as I can remember, I always wanted to make an impact on someone else's life in some way. And working in this field has allowed me to do so in so many ways. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Joseph. We appreciate your words and your representation of the couple of thousand frontline staff that work at AHRC New York City every single day. We're very grateful for your service. I'm very pleased to introduce Assembly Member Clarinas Reyes from the 87th District in the Bronx. She has been a staunch supporter of our work of people with disabilities, and I'm extremely pleased to let you know that she's also an RN who did frontline work during the COVID pandemic. So we thank you for your service, Assembly Member, and we also ask that you now move to install the board. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marco, and thank you everybody for allowing me to participate in your 71st annual celebration, albeit remotely. But I believe it's important that we continue to support each other as a community and as a community of caregivers, and as a legislator, I think it's important for the IDD community to understand how important they are to my work. And one of the reasons why I went into become a legislator, coming from a healthcare background, was because I believe that we need to have representation in all levels of government that is empathetic and affirming of all people. And I think in order to make true impactful change in the IDD community, we need individuals who understand their plight, who understand their challenges, and who understand the challenges of the caregivers and organizations like AHRC that provide such an important service to the IDD community. I think the song that opened us up was so fitting, Let There Be Light, because I think you guys, the AHRC has been a light in the lives of so many people with IDD, and particularly at a time when we are all very isolated and separated from the real world, where our everyday comings and goings have been brought to a screeching halt. And it's been difficult, and it weighs very heavy on the hearts and the minds of people who don't have disabilities. I can't imagine how much more difficult this has been for people with IDD, people who are nonverbal, people who need more assistance and need more interactions. And unfortunately, because of this pandemic, all of that has been limited. And I think it's important that as legislators, we understand that, and we understand that it's now at a time where you guys need more support and not austerity measures that really cut funding for you to provide such essential services. for important members of our community. So thank you for having me. It is an honor to participate, and I am going to start the installation of your board members. The newly elected directors, officers, and nominating committee members of the Board of Directors of the New York City chapter of the ARC Inc. are now being installed. With board membership goes the responsibility to ensure that the New York City chapter continues to engage persons who are intellectually and developmentally disabled and their families, to engage the community in realizing the goal of equity and social justice for all its citizens. As I call the names of the newly elected directors of the board, please stand and raise your right hand. Tony Agovino, Marie Lourdes Charles, Gail Fishkin, Evander Lamke, Simram Kaur Sachdev, Nilsa Santiago, Jermaine Laviscount Scott. As directors of the board, do you solemnly promise to faithfully discharge the duties of a director impartially and to the best of your ability, to advance the mission, vision, and values of the New York ARC Inc., the New York City chapter? If so, please answer, I do. I congratulate you and declare you legally installed. As I call the names of the newly elected officers of the Board of Directors, please stand and raise your right hand. President, Sharon Van Riepingen. First Vice President, Raymond Ferrigno. Second Vice President, Patricia Murphy. Third Vice President, Tina Veal. Fourth Vice President, Corey O. Henkel. Fifth Vice President, Nancy Petrino. Treasurer, Andreas Chrysostomo. Financial Secretary, Gian Strulas. Recording Corresponding Secretary, Ann Gordon. As officers of the Board of Directors, do you solemnly promise to faithfully discharge the duties of this esteemed office impartially and to the best of your ability, to advance the mission, vision, and values of the New York State ARC Inc., New York City chapter? If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
I congratulate you and declare you legally installed. As I call the names of the newly elected members of the nominating committee, please stand and raise your hand. Patricia A. Murphy, Chairperson. Tony Agovino. Angelo Aponte. Marie Lourdes Charles, Ann Gordon, Corey O. Henkel, Laura J. Kennedy, Mary Krasner, Nancy Petrino. As members of the nominating committee, do you faithfully promise to perform to the best of your abilities all of the customary duties of this committee for the New York City chapter of the New York State ARC? If so, please answer, I do. I congratulate you and declare you legally installed. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Reyes. We are almost at the end of our meeting, but there's one piece of business we must take care of. I will read out an amendment to the bylaws. Once I'm done reading the amendment, a poll will appear on your screen. Please take a moment and choose yes or no. Section 13 of Article 8 of the bylaws of AHRC New York City shall be added to and will read as follows. The Board of Directors, acting through its nominating committee, shall have the authority to either elect or appoint one or more individuals as a director emeritus, each for a term ending on the date of the next subsequent annual meeting, unless elected for additional terms. Each director emeritus shall serve in an advisory capacity only and shall be entitled to receive notice of and attend meetings of the board and other chapter meetings. However, each director emeritus shall not have the authority to vote on any matter which are submitted to a vote of the Board of Directors. And in this regard, the presence of any Director Emeritus at meetings of the Board of Directors should not be counted in determining a quorum for such meetings. The Director Emeritus also shall not have any of the fiduciary duties or liabilities of a director under law. The poll should be on your screen. Please take a few moments to vote. The amendment has passed. Please welcome back Marco and Sharon, who will close the annual meeting. Marco?
Thank you again, Donna. I want to thank everyone again for coming tonight. I can actually see the number of participants on my screen. And I think it's one of the biggest annual meetings we've had in a while. So there's something about this Zoom thing that's working. But all joking aside, I thank you for your support. I thank you for all you do to make this organization great. Mahatma Gandhi famously said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." I think we have a good idea of what we want to see different happen in our world in the months and years to come. You've heard some about some of it tonight, and we look forward to your support as our extraordinary staff and board continue to move ahead to give people with disabilities their rightful place in society and be sure that our organization is here for many decades to come. Thank you again.
Thank you, Marco. Allow me to start by thanking Donna Gifford and all of you who worked tirelessly and through your efforts made this first virtual meeting possible. It's actually quite amazing that we're all together. And earlier we were over something like 170 individuals on at the same time. I thank all of you for attending and continuing to support the work of this incredible organization. I certainly would be derelict in my duties not to mention that AHRC New York City has been dignified with an outstanding Chief Executive Officer, Marco Damiani, and an extraordinary leadership team who have made enormous strides furthering our efforts to be the very, very, very best in the field. And there is no question about it. In closing, I thank all of you who've attended this meeting and share in our commitment to continue our mission to make sure that justice and respect and outstanding care continues to drive all of what we do to benefit those we serve in this vast, vast community. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and I look forward to seeing you again next year. Good night. And
thank you again for attending our 71st annual meeting. Stay safe and have a lovely evening. Good night.
I wanna see the light shining. I wanna see the light shining. I wanna see the light shining. Wanna see the light shining. Wanna see the light shine. I wanna right there.